So we made a mistake, and some of you called us out on it.
So we're here today to correct our error.
Yeah. This is Queer Money episode 563, and today we're clarifying the required minimum distribution, or the minimum distribution you are required to take out of your IRA accounts.
So let's fix this boo-boo fast, and let's start this show fast to fix the boo-boo.
The mission of Queer Money is to financially empower the LGBTQ plus community. Join us in thanking Capital One for supporting that mission.
So on Queer Money episode 546, titled 12 Sources of Income in Retirement, which you can access on your favorite podcast player and YouTube, we made a mistake and we quoted old required minimum distribution ages, RMDs. That has been since updated, and we're here. This is our mea culpa. We're here to correct that error. So get ready for an exciting discussion on RMDs. So, David, what is a required minimum distribution?
Right. A required minimum distribution, or RMD, is the minimum amount that you must take out of your retirement accounts every year. The Secure Act of 2019 raised the age in which you needed to start taking that minimum amount from 70 and a half to 72. And that's what we alluded to in that particular episode. But the Secure Act of 2023, or Secure Act 2.0, further raised that age to 73. So for those who turn 72 on or after January 1st of 2023, meaning individuals who turned 72 in 2023, they didn't have to take a required minimum distribution in 2023. They were able to delay it until 2024. So basically, because of the Secure Act 2.0, anyone in 2024 must start taking a required minimum distribution if you are the age 73 or older.
Exactly. And this is a nice little perk that the government's giving us. It gives those of us who are in retirement a little bit longer to let our money stay invested. So you don't have to withdraw that out, hopefully, and get a little bit more growth from the stock market. And we've been seeing some nice growth in the stock market. So hopefully that increases your financial security.
Capital One Auto Navigator does more than just auto financing. We're here to help you find a car you love, too. Shop millions of cars from thousands of dealers nationwide. Research your favorite makes and models. Explore dealers near you and more. All on Auto Navigator.
So what type of accounts does this actually affect? Let's get specific. We're talking about traditional IRAs, SEP IRAs, simple IRAs, and company-sponsored retirement plans such as 401ks or 403bs. Now, there are some exceptions. There's specifically the workplace plan exception for 401ks and 403bs, meaning that if you are still 73 and still working, you don't have to start taking RMDs from your 401k or your 403b.
Unless
The exception to that exception is that unless you're the business owner and you have a 5% or more ownership stake in that company. Hopefully you're not 73 and still working, although that could be happening. But typically the only types of people who end up working at that age are people who actually are the CEO or the owner of the company. And so that's where that requirement falls. Roth accounts or Roth IRAs have no RMD requirements until the Roth account owner passes away. Roth 401ks and Roth 403bs used to have RMD requirements, but as of 2024, they no longer exist. So that money can stay in there in perpetuity, at least at this time.
Yeah. And keep in mind, folks, here, this is called a required minimum distribution. This is the minimum amount that the IRS says you have to withdraw from these types of accounts. And primarily the reason why they want that is they want to get their portion of that money in taxes. That doesn't mean that this is the amount you are required to take. You can take above it. You can't take below it, but you can take above that. Keep in mind, though, if you take above that, there are two things that could possibly happen. One, taking more out than the required minimum distribution could mean that you run out of money sooner in retirement. So just remember that. The closer you feel like you may be getting to, sad way to put this, the end of your life, maybe you can take a little bit more than the required minimum distribution. But if you feel like you're still young and spry at 73, 74, whatever age,
I can kick, I can
Right.
stretch.
right, then you may want to just take that required minimum distribution, especially if you have other sources of income. The other thing to remember is that money coming out of these types of accounts is going to be taxable. It is going to create a taxable event. That money gets added to your annual income for the year. And unless the investments that you hold in the account are non-taxable funds or it's a qualified Roth distribution, right? So the only way that this is not going to be taxed is that if there are specific non-taxable funds in the account, which is very, very rare. It's very rare that you hold that kind of, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to hold those kinds of investments in a retirement account, or if it's a Roth account. So keep in mind that there will be some impact that this has on you when you take these withdrawals.
So definitely, in that case, talk with your financial advisor, your financial planner, or your accountant to understand how these withdrawals will affect your taxes. So with that, we'll be right back. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
Thank you for joining us for another episode. Thank you for giving us a little bit of grace for the mistake that we made. Make sure you come back on Tuesday when we talk about how to successfully transition from work to retirement.
We're going to be talking not about numbers, but about life. And then until next time, stay fabulous.
Bye.